and I had contact with Will at that time. And so, you know, he took some of my practicum students and I'd come back and help him when he did the business to business. And so we've had a bit of relationship building, and I'd really like to see NBIT partner with the city. And, you know, we both bring a lot. So I'm just really thrilled to be here and look forward to working as a committee member and supporting Merritt. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous city.
Excellent. Thanks, Bev. Ila?
Isla?
Oh, sorry, Isla.
Hi, I'm a citizen of Merritt, and economics has always been a strong suit of mine. I love profit and progress and accounts and graphs that show that process, its success or what needs improvement. And I enjoyed the graphs and the business survey and community surveys and the progress made since 2014-15 of the official community plan. And I will be keying in on the economic initiatives supporting and catering to families that live and breathe the Nicola Valley experience. And I look forward to working with your leadership and with this team. Thank you.
Thanks, Isla. Carrie.
Hello, Carrie Ware. I'm a CPA/CA Chartered Professional Accountant. So I have lots of small businesses that I know what's going on in their quote unquote lives and what they're looking for the city to do for them, and turning around the other way around, seeing what the city can do for them. So that's sort of why I'm interested.
Awesome. Great, Carrie. Welcome aboard. Is Ron joined us yet?
Can you hear me?
I can hear him.
I can barely hear him.
Yeah, well, I'm listening.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We can hear you now, Ron.
Can you hear me? Oh, I don't have a camera on this computer I'm sitting at. So is it echoing?
No, work on it, Ron. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Ryan.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Excellent. How's everybody doing? You know, I'm very grateful that actually when I look across this committee, I've had the pleasure of meeting almost everybody there. But unfortunately, I'm here to say that I won't be able to sit on this committee for a couple of reasons, but I wanted to use this platform to really have an open conversation. I've been acting chair for the Chamber of Commerce for almost a year. Gratefully, been very grateful to be a part of it, been very grateful to contribute to Merritt in whatever way I could. I'm a business owner in town, so I definitely see the value in a chamber and what it can do for small business and a community in town. But the reality is I have taken a position as a regional manager, which is going to see my responsibilities step outside of Merritt a little bit further, which is going to require me to step down as acting chair. What I wanted to bring forward was really our accomplishments over the past 12 months, which was when I jumped on board, we really found that the chamber was strained financially. But I'm happy to say, regardless of the silence that you've seen from the chamber, that we've been able to pull out of that, and we actually find ourselves in a cash positive position. And I think we've positioned the chamber itself to really be a pillar of strength for this community. So my encouragement for everybody on this board as you're looking for economic development is to really grab hold of this Chamber of Commerce and really use it as an opportunity to help support our local business in town. What once was a sinking ship is now a floating ship that's really looking for sailors to jump on board. And you know, we've done our best to get the word out there, but I really feel that there's a solid group of leaders here that have the connections with forward-thinking business owners and individuals in town that can grab hold of this and carry it forward and see it forward to really what it can become and what it should become. So yeah, I'm happy to sit in on the meeting. I do plan on staying on as a director to contribute as how I can. I do own a business in town, so I do have vested interest. But unfortunately, As mentioned, as my responsibilities grow, I find my abilities to focus on the chamber are dwindling, and I really would love to see somebody fall into a position to keep carrying it to a level of success. And I will stop there.
Good. Thanks, Ryan. Well, I appreciate all the work you've done with the chamber and really worked to get them in that stronger financial position and everything. You've worked very, very hard. I can attest to that. I've seen your work and effort around town. So thank you for everything you've done there.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah. Great. Manuel, are you on board? Did you join us?
Manuel won't be here today.
Oh,
Will he?
I thought I saw an MH there. That might be somebody else. Or MO. Sorry, MO. No, okay, he's not there. All right, Will.
Perfect. Let me just make sure I'm off mute here. Everyone can hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everyone. I believe I know everyone on the call here, but yeah, my name is Will George, Manager of Economic Development, Tourism and Communications for the City of Merritt, and it's excellent to have a great, energetic group together. I look forward to supporting this committee in a staff role, providing a bit of updates since I've been in the role since 2015 of what we've done for economic development, and some of the updates on our plans, the economic development plan, and all of the other related plans. So here is staff support, and looking forward to working together with all of you.
Excellent. Thanks, Will. And you'll be on the agenda here in a couple of moments as well, bring us up to date with the plan, right?
That is correct.
Perfect. Okay. Sean, Mr. Smith, is he there? He might have had to step out. Herb.
I am here.
Okay, I'm on.
Oh, there you are. Okay, hold on, Herb. Sorry.
That's no
Thanks,
trouble.
Tony. Herb Graham, elected official for Thompson Nicoll Regional District, the beautiful Nicoll Valley South. And what I hope to bring to this committee would be the 50 years of my living and working in this community, and economic development progress in Merritt has been a top priority with me, and not just in Merritt, but on the whole of the Nicoll Valley. And I'm delighted to have been invited to this committee. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, Herb. Sean?
Thanks, Tony. I'm Sean Smith. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Merritt, and really I'm very excited to see this committee moving forward. My role is primarily, of course, in a staff capacity, so I'll be here for information, but also to act as something of a go-between between the committee and council to help you assist in kind of crafting the recommendations as they go to council, but also to give you a good idea of what staff capacity is and what we might be able to take on and assist the committee with directly. So I'm very excited to see what your ideas are going to be and how we can help you make them become a reality.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Linda. Staff.
Hi there. I'm
Hi.
Linda Brick. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Excellent. I'm the Deputy Corporate Officer here at the City of Merritt. I've just moved to Merritt in January, so I'm quite excited to be serving in a support capacity for this committee, and I'm here to support the committee in whatever they need.
Excellent. Thank you. And Mayor Brown. Everybody knows who Mayor Brown is, but we just want to get your ideas of what your expectations are for this committee as well.
Well, I'd like to see us move Merritt forward. So economic development was one of the things that myself and a couple of the rest of us have put as top of our priority list during the last election. And I think we've made a lot of improvements so far to getting there. One of them is changing the zoning bylaws, which took a while. Thank you to our staff. And right now we're currently looking at updating and changing the OCP. So both of these will lend favorably to moving forward in the future. So I'm looking forward to this group helping us move forward.
And before I say anything, have I missed anybody? Ron, are you there now? Just gotta love the technology.
Councillor Luck,
Yes?
I believe there's one more person on the call, and that is Greg Lois.
Oh, Greg, yes, sorry, Greg. I didn't have you on my list, sorry.
Not at all, Councillor. Hi, everyone. It's really great to have seen all of your introductions. I think it sounds like the committee has some really awesome people behind it who will be looking to drive it forward. My name is Greg Lowis. I'm the Director of Corporate Services here at the City of Merritt, and I'm not a part of the committee normally. I'm just hanging around today to provide any administrative support necessary and possible to make sure that a fresh committee gets off on a really good start. So.
Great. Thanks, Greg. And of course, myself, Councillor Leck, I'm here as I'm part of the committee here, which is really exciting. I've been wanted to be a part of the committee. As you know, I have a strong desire to see some nice economic growth in our community. We have that nice, vibrant community, and this is a great committee that I think we've pulled together out of the community here. And I see, you know, some of the words we're using is passion and vision and expectations and desires. And I'm really hoping we can pull all that together and really do something in the next couple of years here for our community and create some jobs and some opportunities for citizens in our community and that. So I'm really excited about working with this group for sure. So having said that, did we miss anybody? We got everybody, right? Okay, we'll get Ron next time. He's having some problems there. So the next thing on our agenda is just review the terms of reference. Did everybody have a chance to download those, have a look at them, or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there any? I don't think we're going to read this line by line. Is there anything that we need to have a look at, or is any concerns about that, or does it look pretty good? And we need to have maybe a motion to accept the terms of reference by this committee.
I'll make a motion to accept the terms of reference.
Okay. Do I hear a seconder?
David Laird, second.
Second. Any comments or questions or thoughts on it? This will be a fluid document, so even if we pass it now, if we come up and then, you know, in a couple of months and think we need to make a few changes, I think it's a really good first start. As I've read it over, we need to tweak it a little bit. We can do that in the future. This isn't cast in stone, so if everybody wants to have some time to review it, we can do that. So can I call the question? Anybody? I'll do it simple, but what we've been doing is anybody opposed to the motion? Hearing none opposed, then we'll approve the terms of reference as outlined. All right. So the next thing on the agenda, we have, this is you, Will. We're going to have a work plan discussion. Maybe we'll have you kick it off and start it, and then we can do some Q&A at the end of your end presentation. How does that sound, Will?
Perfect. Thank you, Councillor Luck.
Oh,
and I'm
you're
just
welcome.
going to share the screen here. Let me know, what can you see on my screen?
Your first page of the presentation.
Perfect. That's good. I want to make sure that that's what you can see there. So yeah, what I wanted to do just for a few minutes today is go over the Economic Development Action Plan. And I believe this was provided to all members of the committee prior to the committee meeting today. And this PowerPoint was presented to Council. I believe it was presented in August 2019. So it gave a bit of an update. Council was looking for where we are right now for the Economic Development Action Plan. So we'll just go through some of these slides here, and then if there's any particular questions of where we are on some of these action items, then I can answer any of those questions, and then we can get into some of the committee's ideas and input as to some of these items here. Now I'll start by flipping the slide. That's what I'll do. So I'll start just with an overview of the Economic Development Action Plan. So it was created in 2014, and usually what we're seeing is economic development action plans. They need to be updated every 5 years. So this one is due for an update, and prior to COVID, we did have it planned for an update in 2020, 2021. So that we're still hoping it might be pushed back more of 2021, 2022 here, but it does need to be updated. In the plan from 2014, 2015, we have 5 key areas and 27 strategic actions. So it's quite jammed packed of particular topics in here, particular projects. And it's quite beneficial. I've worked in municipalities across BC, some which have economic plans and some that don't. And I can say as a staff member, it's way more beneficial to have a approved document approved by council as well as the community that says this is where we want to go, that works directly with the official community plan and is just focused on economic development. So it's very valuable to have this plan. And as I mentioned, this plan works with the official community plan, but also works with other strategic plans that have been approved by City Council and has received input and engagement from the community. So some of these plans outside of the official community plan are the Merritt and Nicola Valley Tourism Plan. You can see them all here on the screen, the City Centre Plan, the Airport Master Plan. So economic development has its own action plan, but there's pieces of economic development and different initiatives that are spread throughout a wide variety of other strategic plans for the city.
Well, can I interrupt you for a moment?
Yes.
I think Ron Sanders has his hand up there. Okay. He might have a question for you. Ron? Not hearing Ron. Sorry, Ron, we can't hear you. Okay,
maybe you could type it in the chat.
Yeah, you could chat, send a question along to chat-wise. Yeah.
Well, let's see. I think there's.
Maybe carry on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe send you a chat. Ask the question then. Okay. Good. Carry on, Will. Thank you.
Sounds good. Yes. So talking about the different plans that economic development are in. Some of the engagement, this particular plan created in 2014-15, the surveys are on the screen here, the amount of engagement. So it's really important when you're developing this plan that the community is involved, and we saw this during the creation. Part of the economic development plan looked at SWOT analysis. It's quite thick, so this is just a highlight of it. Looked at the competitive advantages, looked at the downtown opportunities, the airport opportunities, looking at logistics as a logistics hub for the community, transportation. So there's lots of good information created in this plan. And as I mentioned before as well, there is the 5 key areas and the 27 strategic actions. So you'll see the 5 key areas on the screen there. And then it has the appendices there that's attached with all of the survey results. As I mentioned before, we're currently going through, the city's currently going through and implementing these action plans, but the plan does need to be updated, and we continue to go through it and work with the other plans that are in place along with the ECDEV plan. Looking at building the area for people to grow in. Not only are we looking at business growth, but we're also looking at residential attraction. So when we talk about opportunities for people, we're talking about all of the folks, especially during COVID here, we're having a huge increase of folks that are going from the larger communities surrounding us, especially the Lower Mainland, that are looking at Merritt as a place to build their business and grow their family. It was previously mentioned that we recently changed the zoning bylaw, and that's something that was brought forward and council had lots of input into and provided a great document for us to use. And just the interactions that I've found talking with businesses, it removes a lot of barriers that we've found in the past that are now open. So there continues to be interest in Merritt, and the new zoning bylaw, the new active transportation plan that is being created, and the updates to the official community plan are all great documents that support business growth in the community.
Will, can I stop you there for a minute? Yeah, for any questions? Has anybody got any questions at this point for Will on the plan so far? Nope, we're all good. Okay, go ahead, Will.
Perfect. Actually, that was pretty good time. So this is the overview of it. it's quite a big document. You know, from page 22 to I think 61 is the recommendations and the implementation of it. So I can answer any particular questions on the different action items that are in the plan there. If anyone's looking for a particular update on any of those items, I won't go through each individual one because I think the presentation to council was an hour or two. So I can answer any particular questions if the committee members have them. And I did want to show as well, one of the 5 action items in here is tourism, the key areas. And I wanted to show this. I just took this screenshot of a video that we have recently. So this is a post, Welcome to Merritt. And this is a new video that we put out, I believe it was last month there. And you can see that it's reached 12,000 people just on Facebook there, which is excellent. And we're seeing lots of people look at Merritt, as I was talking before about, you know, a place to relocate their family. They're seeing it not just as a place to travel when, you know, the travel restrictions are lifted, but to move their business. So this is a new example of some of the traffic that some of our videos are getting. So I'll leave it there and open it up for any questions on any of the particular action items or anything that we're doing for ActDev. Should be able to answer that.
Excellent, Will, thank you. As I went through the plan, I saw there's a lot of things in there, but I'm going to open it up to anybody else first that would like to make some comments. I guess one of my first comments would be, what is the process to get this updated? Because it is pretty old. Things have changed a lot in Merritt the last 6, 7, 8 years. And so that was my question, but let's go to Margaret first. She has a question and you can answer mine at another time. Go ahead, Margaret.
That's one of them as well, Tony, which just was glaring at me when I went through this, right? Mm-hmm. But because I'm new to Merritt, so forgive me, I don't know background on anything that may or may not have been done, right? So I was interested to know about all the actions under 2, the collaborative approach for real outcomes. So there was talk about the community accord and the economic development roundtable and the support with NVIT. So those were some of the things that I was really interested to know. And the Gateway 286, actually a lot of that number 2 were things that I was interested to know what progress we've made and where we are with all of that, or if it's changed.
Perfect. So let me just flip over to my notes here. So for number 2, some of these items here, you know, lots of it is working with partners. So we're talking about collaboration and different action items, making sure that when we're going through with economic initiatives that we're engaging different partners, whether it's with the Chamber, Community Futures, NVIT, Work BC. So that's something that we're continuing to do, and you know, there's lots of partnerships. You know, NVIT, just as an example. Bev, for your introduction, you mentioned some of the initiatives that we've done in the past. We have done over the last 4 or 5 years here the different business walks, whether they're online or in person, to get that input into some of these items. And let me just scroll down here. The communications plan, prime example, that's 2.3. So that's something that is in the ECDEV plan, and we brought this forward. We were able to do this in-house last year, and now the City of Merritt has a communications plan. We formed the communications department for the City of Merritt, and we have a document that we can use not only internally, but when we're sharing information, when we're engaging with partners, we can use as a supporting document there. So that's excellent to have that in place. With the roundtable, this is something that you know, meeting with our partners, having the ECDEV committee definitely helps support that initiative. And there's lots of partnerships with, you know, supporting NVIT and external partners there. 2.8, I'll speak on that one just briefly. The Merritt Youth Leap program. So we looked at this, and over the last couple of years, committee members might be familiar with the Merit Youth Entrepreneurship Program. So that's a program that we've run, and oftentimes, being in a smaller community, we try to see which initiatives we can do using, leverage dollars, seeing if, the city puts in 50 cents on the dollar, we can get some partners and some dollars from the private sector. We can get some grants and make these initiatives come to fruition, and usually punch above our weight class. So when I'm going to different conferences, it's surprising how often larger communities do similar initiatives, but it's fully funded by the city. So it makes me happy when we can do similar projects, but are able to come together, able to apply for some grants and make that happen. So the Merit Youth Entrepreneurship Program is a program where we applied for grant funding in order to provide some training, working with our partners, sharing entrepreneurship skills, and for youth in the community to start their own businesses. And I believe in the last maybe 4 or so years that the program's been running, we've had close to, I think it's around 150 students go through the program, which is excellent. And, they gain some entrepreneurship skills. We waive the business license fee for them. They've historically sold their products at the farmers markets, at the country Christmas events, and we provide that support. And even if they don't, even if they only do their business for the winter season or the summer season, they have those skills and they're able to ensure that when they're starting out in their career, they have that in the back of their mind of, oh, I could start my own business, and they have the support and the connections from organizations in town. So those are a few just on 2. Hopefully that answers your question. Yep.
One that I'm particularly interested in, though, is the First Nations engagement. Mm-hmm. So I know, like, from my experience working in the district of Lillooet, it was extremely important for us to have representation from the voices of all the surrounding First Nations bands. And so I'm curious how much progress you've made in that direction.
Yeah, of course. And perhaps Councillor Luck or Mayor Brown, I will pass this question over to you, and you can talk a little bit about the relationships, the different community to communities that we've had over the last couple of years, and some of those relationships that we've built working with the whole Nicola Valley.
That'll be better for probably Mayor Brown to handle that one. She's more got a relationship there. Yeah.
Sure, I'll give it a try. We've had a couple of community-to-community meetings with all of the bands. We've partnered on a number of different programs and projects with them. We have yet to sign an MOU, and there is no rationale for it. It's just we've hit COVID and everything kind of stopped. So we want to get back to that, meeting with them again, partnering with them on, we are partnering with them on the 286 project, the local service agreement. And we hope to partner with them on a number of other different developments and things around the city. So we are highly motivated to connect and partner, and we're part of each other's community. So we recognize that and we want to work closely with them. We recognize their value to us.
Can I jump in and add a little bit on that, Mayor Brown?
Yes, please.
So with First Nations engagement, one of the things that we've been actively working towards is for our development applications, making sure that those referrals are beginning to go out to First Nations communities. One of the unique, I guess, opportunities that we have is we have a number of different First Nations bands surrounding us. We have, the 5 Nicola bands, but we also have Cook's Ferry, who has land that is very close to Merritt as well. And so we've got really 6 bands that we have the opportunity of working really closely with, and making sure that we find out the best way to kind of reach out and engage with those bands is one of the unique challenges and opportunities that we have. And I think that we've made fairly good inroads on sometimes one-on-one bases, but quite often you want to have a broader discussion. And I think that's where we're at right now. And anybody that has suggestions and ideas and kind kind of a desire to help pull whole groups together, because I think that's where a lot of the synergy and the power can happen. I'm in particular going to look at folks like Bev and NVIT, because I think that there might be an opportunity to look at some of these bigger ideas that could encompass the entirety of the Nicola Valley, but we feel kind of bad when we only have the ear of maybe 1 or 2 bands on any given project, or maybe we're working through SPIAM Developments, their development corp, or it can make it so sometimes that engagement is happening a little bit more piecemeal than we would like. And I would really like to see some forward progress in having broader discussions. And I think that that might be something that this committee could assist with.
Great comments there for sure. Excuse me, Herb, did you have your hand up for a question earlier? Oh, no.
No, I didn't. Thanks, Tony.
Okay, sorry, I thought I saw that. Okay, any other comments around that one? That's some good comments there. Bev, would you like to, have you got any comments to what maybe Sean has said or the mayor has said there? Or see any ideas there for this committee?
Absolutely. I just, I'd love to help bridge what we, because we all need to work together, right? The
Absolutely.
other thing that I wanted to mention is I come from a rodeo background. Mm-hmm. And so coming here, I was the president of Crime Stoppers in South Okanagan, Similkameen, and I wanted to do something different. And so I've been quite involved with Little Britches, announcing for them. I helped with the Pro Rodeo, and I'll be helping with the high school as well. I'm trying to bring a collegiate rodeo team here for NVIT. I'm working towards that, and in conversations with Alberta and Saskatchewan and Manitoba with the colleges. But the other thing is that what I've talked about before is the ranchers. And Haley Rutherford was my neighbor when we lived in OK Falls on McLean Creek Road. And she, I was talking about tourism with her, and she said, Bev, it would be so cool to really involve the ranchers and, and get into that. So I think, definitely there's all kinds of opportunities, and, we're just in such a beautiful prime territory here that, the sky's the limit, and I would love to be a part of all of that. So yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, Bev. It's just pulling it all out. It's just pulling it out and pulling together. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else have any? Will, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, if I can just comment on what Bev spoke on around the agritourism and feeding off its merit, but it's the beautiful Nicola Valley that we have, and there's lots of supporting documents that we have access to, working with partners, Destination BC. We're part of the BC Farmers Market Association. We're part of the BC Ale Trail. There's lots of regional programs that we can take advantage of, and we're already members of. Something that we continue to hear over and over from either the face-to-face visitors that came to the community pre-COVID and online, we're still continuing to put out the information on the tourism side of Dream Now, Visit Later. And something we continue to hear is the need for additional supporting businesses. So when people come to the community, whether they're coming for the camping, the fishing, the music festivals, they're looking for those additional businesses to provide those products and services, because people come and they want to spend money. We're always trying to extend their length of stay, extend the number of nights they have, and enhance their experience. So a report, I'm not sure if everyone's had a chance to read it, is the Tourism Asset Inventory. If it hasn't been sent out, we can send it out following this meeting. It was a document that we created, I think it was about 2 years ago, and it shows all of the tourism businesses, the products that we have here. We use this as a business retention tool, as well as a business attraction resource. So when businesses are looking at Merit and saying, oh, is there already enough of this particular sector of business, we can share this document with them and say, this particular niche of tourism business you would fit great into. We've also received Destination BC funding to do a sector report We're doing about 6 or 8 of them, depending on how much bang we can get for our buck there with the grant. And one of them is on tourism and using that as a business attraction piece there. So, you know, visitors and, you know, new residents as well are calling out for those additional services and where they can spend more money. So that's something we're always trying to meet, of keeping the dollars in the community and bringing in more bucks, right?
Absolutely. Thanks, Will, for that. So I just got a couple of things, a couple of impressions I've had so far. So going back to my first question about, obviously we need to update the plan. So what is the process in that? Sean, you might be able to help us on that. What is the process we need to do that? Because with this new committee, it would be nice to start off with a new committee and a new plan and to move forward with, right? And, you know, technically we don't have a lot of time here to get some of this stuff done. And so how can we get that done as soon as possible?
Yeah.
Sean?
I would happily comment on that. So one thing that I think, this is kind of an introductory and high level overview, but I would love to have this committee give kind of specific individual reviews to the items on that plan that they think are still relevant, because I don't want to throw out items where there's been good thought, good work done, and maybe it still has yet to be accomplished. And I think there are quite a number in that plan that would fall into that category. So I think that at the next committee meeting, one of the first things that would be really valuable is to go through each item to say, is this still something that's relevant? Is it important? And then be able to start attaching priorities to those items. And then from there, we'll figure out how many of those are still on, how many of them should shake off, and then do a little bit of a brainstorm as to what other ideas this committee thinks are important. I am coming to firmly believe that people spend a lot of time and in some instances money developing plans, and I have far more love for content than I do the graphics and everything else that goes with it. So
Agreed.
I would love to see us focus on the content, and if we feel like we've got a good, strong kind of work plan put together, I don't mind, you know, having somebody put together to pretty up the package so that we can make it look attractive for potential businesses and investors and everything else. But I think that we should really focus on content first. I think that that's what my recommendation would be. And I think that this committee is the perfect outlet to be able to assist and provide recommendations on what should go, what should stay, and what potentially needs to be added in.
So you're giving us homework, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I think there should be between you and I think that
I think that's
should be a detailed review of each of those items.
Yeah. So we've all got we got a takeaway. Sorry, guys, you want to write that down? Is if we can all take the opportunity to go through that plan and have a look at it as Sean has suggested, and we look at what you feel is good, what we can jettison, you know, how we can flesh it out, and especially new ideas, because it is old. A lot has happened in Merritt the last 6 years. So, and I think there's a new vision out there as well of where we want to go. And so if we could work on that for so an assignment for next meeting would be able to come with our ideas on that, and we'll go through this on a fairly, not a much lower level. Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound good? All right. Excellent.
Can I add one other comment as well, Councillor Luck?
Yeah,
I would love to give a brief overview of some of the initiatives that the city is currently undertaking for this committee as well. I imagine that has got to be an area of curiosity for a lot of the folks around this table to figure out where we're currently at, because whether this is a lot of this is a mixture of council's vision, but it's also, specific actions that staff has taken and the trajectory for what we're doing, not just for small business, but for example, around light industrial business attraction. What is the initiatives that we're looking to implement there? Some of you will note, or maybe you won't, that one of the things that is currently before council is a reduction in the light industrial tax rate to make us more competitive with other communities in that area to improve our business attraction for particular light industry. And so there's a lot of those types of things that I think would be beneficial, and I think that's an item that we could put on the next agenda, subject to your wishes, Councillor Luck.
I'm fine with that. Absolutely. I think it's all comes together. Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing that as I went through here, and I don't know if anybody else picked up on this and everything, and it's been something that's been bothering me for some time. And correct me if I'm wrong. I always stand to be correct and everything. But one of the sad things that I saw in this report, and just highlight this, and I'm looking at this committee, and I'm hoping the committee would like to pick this up and run with it. But 50% perceive Merritt's image as negative. How many of you out there feel bad about that in this report?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, actually. Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. So as I went through, that was the thing that stood out hugely to me. I'm wondering if this committee can think of ways to improve that image that we have out there, because honestly, I was talking to some clients on the coast a week or so ago, and they still have that image of Merritt. It's unbelievable. And we want to change that. We want to be a positive. We want a much more positive community out there. So Joanne, I think you had your hand up. You would like to make a comment in that respect?
No, I just had my hand up to say, yeah, I feel bad about that.
I'm hoping that this committee, one of its goals will, Mary, you got your hand up. That's one of the goals, that we're going to try to change the perception of this community and change those ideas, because we need to. We really need to if we're going to attract business and people to live here. Mary, you had a comment? Hey, got your mute on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead, Mary.
I absolutely agree that people are being very negative, because anyone who's on Facebook and people say, oh, I want to move to Merritt. What's, something good about Merritt? And people get on there and they just bash Merritt. And, this being, and Joanne can surely relate to this, and Ron, this being our little old town and someone saying bad things, it's hurtful. So it's terrible. It'd be nice to see people go, yeah, Merritt's a great place to live, instead of, oh, well, it's, not this, it's not that. I don't like that. Really bothers me.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Mary. So if we can look at that as we look over the plan, everything, and finding ways not only to improve the economic outlook in our community, but how to bring that positive outlook to our community as well, would be really, really
everyone
good.
Has to be part
Anybody
of
else? Anybody else with a comment around that, or anything else? Anything else we need to do to look at that?
Just a comment there.
Yes.
That it's Kurt talking. Been here for almost 50 years now, and Merritt has a rather unique way of bashing itself, but it's time to get some of those things going. And I know we are receiving a bit of resistance to some of the changes that are being considered in the OCP and so on. But I think Merritt has to realize that if we want to move forward, it's going to involve some change, and change isn't always the easiest thing to do, but we want to do more than just survive. We want to thrive, and we do need to brag about our city. We have a wonderful place. The Nicola Valley has so many things going for it. We've talked about its potential for years, and it's time for us to start moving in that direction, and we need to pull together. I'm really excited to see this committee started up again and going full bore ahead. So I'd like to thank everybody for being willing to be on this committee, and I think we'll see some great things happen.
Thanks so much.
Especially
Joanne?
from some of my former students and so on.
Absolutely. Joanne, you had your hand up?
Yes, and I'm Mr. Christopherson's former student, grade 6. And
Really?
I still can't call him Kurt. He always tells me to, but I can't. So they have a lot of respect.
That's okay. You can call him Mr. Christopherson or Councilor Christopherson.
Yeah, so when I worked in tourism, we used to offer experiences. Like we'd offer contests to bring people to Merritt and offer them an experience in Merritt. And I think that would be something to revisit. So we used to do the country Christmas getaway and the rodeo weekend getaway. You remember that, Mr. Christopherson? Yeah, and it was huge, and yeah, people like entered the contest. We did radio ads like down at like it was a CRC, I don't know, country station in Chilliwack years ago. But we used to advertise on there and just like go around to businesses. Anoop always would offer a room. But anyways, I just think we should offer people experiences here.
Yeah.
By way of contest or something, and just show people around, Like,
well, I think that's the thing we want to do with this.
A real ranch experience, or Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what this committee wants to do, Joanne, is bring out all those ideas and find other ways. Absolutely. Thank you. Isla, well, I'll get back to you in a second. I'm going to ask Isla. I think she's got her hand up here as well. Isla?
I was just going to thank you, Tony, for bringing that up about our image, that we have a poor image of ourselves. And so foundationally on our first meeting together, I'm happy to hear it brought up, and that's something that we really want to change.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we can go anywhere with it if we don't change that image, Isla. I think it's really important for our community. Anybody else with a comment there? Okay, Will, bigger again.
Perfect. And yeah, thanks, Councillor Locke, for bringing that up. I think you know, something that we've heard from new residents and from people that are looking to move their business or their family to Merritt is we previously had welcome wagons in the community, and that's something that we don't have right now. And you know, when someone's looking to move to a new community, they want someone that lives here, someone boots on the ground. And oftentimes, you know, city staff are going out on different weekends and, you know, showing people the community, reaching out to different community members. But I think this is something that the committee can really take a leadership role in, of whether it's, you know, new residents, new businesses. A perfect example is we're a part of the BC Provincial Nominee Program. So we have foreign entrepreneurs that are moving to the community and coming from another country. You know, they have so many questions and they want to talk to someone and ask, you know, how has it been to, you know, have multiple generations live in Merritt? So I think this is, you know, great to have that brought up. I think as well, when we were talking about the contest and something, I just wanted to comment on your comment there, Joanne, is we run about 2 to 4 contests every year, and people love having those experiences and those contests, whether it's the Family Day contest, the Rock and River ones that we've done in the past, those have proven extremely popular. So it's building those experiences, and people come for those experiences and then leaving with the memories. So I think it would be great to build on those. So great suggestions.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to moving forward. Mayor.
Okay, I'll take my mute off. Sorry. I just had a quick thought as well that when we hear from developers, we're losing some developers mainly because we have no housing. We have no housing for them to come and buy, come and live in. And until we have housing in the community, and lots of it, we won't be able to attract a whole lot of light industrial, or industry that will maintain the city. So we really need, I guess, promotion of what we're doing in terms of trying to get some of this housing developments in our city. It would be appreciated.
Thanks, Mayor. Herb, you have your hand up?
Yes, just a couple of comments here. Talking about partnerships, I hope that this committee is aware of the contributions that the TNRD is attempting to bring to the city's economic development, that we feel is very important to encourage people to move to this community. Don't be telling me about Facebook or that other thing that they have on there about festering things in Merritt. That's just, you can't stop that. But we believe that what we're attempting to bring for being the fall fair, the rodeo, and the pickleball clubs, these are things that we're planning to contribute to make sure that it happens. And if it falls through the cracks, it's our fault. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Herb. We really appreciate all the work that, I don't know how many of you know, but TNRD does major contributions for the pickleball courts and for the Washington rodeo. And so they're a huge support of this city. So we really appreciate Dave and Herb being part of this. Thank you, guys. Anybody else? We're running out of time. I think we're only supposed to go to about 4 o'clock today. Some great comments. I'm really looking forward to the next meeting when we can really start dissecting this plan and pulling it apart and then rebuilding it. I'm really excited about that for our community and that. Is there any last comments before we wrap it up? And I think one thing we just want to look at this, I guess, our meeting schedule as well. Is everybody okay with the meeting schedule?
Thank you.
Any last comments?
Councillor Luck?
Yes.
Hi there. I just wanted to ask if we could approve the meeting schedule. Maybe if we can have a resolution for that.
Yeah, we can do that. Thank you very much for that. Somebody like to, did you move the motion?
I was just going to ask, would the meeting times be the same all the time, like at 3 o'clock? It does. I don't think it says like the time.
Okay, let's have a quick discussion. Is everybody okay with 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday, I guess it is? I don't have it in front of me, so I don't recall the dates on it. Linda, can you help us out there? Have you got the schedule in front of you? Not Mayor Linda, but Linda Breck.
Hi there. Yes, I do have the schedule here in front of me. So the dates that we would be looking at are, so the next date would be March 17th, which is a Wednesday. Then we wouldn't have a meeting in April. We would have the next meeting in May on the 19th, July 14th, September 29th, and then November 17th, or pardon me, I believe it's November 24th.
And are they all for 3 p.m.?
We can do 3 p.m. if that's what works with the committee.
Do we get a general consensus for 3 p.m.?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm instructing, right now it isn't a problem for me, but I honestly don't know what my schedule will be when I start up again in September. So sometimes I don't instruct in the afternoon, but I honestly don't know what my schedule is. So I can't commit to those dates, but I can commit to everything else, and happy to do so.
Okay. Well, should we just leave it the way it is right now? If we have to juggle a little later, we might have to do that, Bev. Is that okay? Does that work for everybody else? The other question I had too is July 14th, the meeting in July, usually, I mean, with COVID and everything, it's a little differently. We're probably all around, but usually a lot of people on vacation. And I think with wanting to get this plan and everything done as soon as possible so we can get boots on the ground and get moving along with some of this, may I suggest that we have a meeting in April and maybe drop the meeting in July? Does that make sense, or am I barking up the wrong tree there? Sean, we get a comment from you on that?
I like that idea, Tony. Yeah.
I'd like to get this thing done as soon as possible, as long as it works with staff and everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah. On this one here, we are here to support whatever it is that the committee wants to accomplish. So if those dates work better for the committee and kind of front loading the meetings a little bit to get things off the ground, we can support that.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see, but you know, consensus here. Everybody else okay with that?
Yeah.
I would suggest, Carrie here, I would suggest instead of taking the July 14th meeting out, just adding the one in April. Because then you're going 4 months without anything happening.
Okay, I'm all okay with that, Carrie, for sure. I think, you know, if we look at what this committee has done and what's happened in the past, and as we move forward, we got a lot of work to do, economic development wise. I have no problem having more meetings at front loading it and getting some tough work done here in the next little bit. So I'm okay with that myself, as long as everybody else is.
Yeah.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and get to work, folks? Awesome. That's so good to hear.
And
Mayor?
I think Sean was probably also going to speak to this, but we have to also recognize the workload of staff. So whenever we're adding, we have to check with staff to make sure they have the time for us to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to do, just which I've said, yeah. Staff, we okay with some of this?
Yeah, no, I'm completely comfortable with that.
Okay.
What I also want people to be really aware of and comfortable with is when you're setting schedules like this, of course, it's so people can plan in advance. But if you are running into any project where you're needing additional meetings or whatever the case is, don't feel hamstrung by the schedule. If you need to, you know, create another committee meeting in order to get something accomplished, that is perfectly acceptable. So, thanks. Yeah, happy to add another one here in April now, but there's no issue with adding things as we go.
So do we have somebody to move a motion to, with I guess, is that an amended schedule or just a schedule with an added date on it?
We can do a schedule with an added date on it. And so then what you would have is March 17th.
March 17th.
Yeah, April 14th. May 19th. July 14th. September 29th. And then November 24th.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept that schedule?
I'll make the motion. Herb Graham.
Thanks. Oh, Herb, you can't vote. So you're a non-voting member. So it'll have to be one of the voting members. So Carrie or Isla or Joanne or
Isla.
Isla will. And second? All right, good. And then do we have anybody opposed to the schedule? Hearing none, then I call it approved. And with that, then our meeting, we can adjourn our meeting unless there's any last comment. Thanks, everybody. I'm really excited about this moving forward. And I think the mayor is and staff is as well. I think this is going to be fantastic. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
See you next
Thanks,
time.
see ya.
You bet.
Yep. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.